Blacks for Trump spokesperson and radio host Melike Abdul made an appearance on CNN and showed that the two most difficult organizations to belong to these days are Blacks for Trump and Latinos for Trump. And sure, Latinos for Trump has it the worst because they were the only people in this country, if not the planet, who did not comprehend that Trump and his administration were going to come after every Latino they could find.
Beyond betrayed. They used us during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party. They actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
Mass deportation of Latinos, not to mention Elon Musk and his Doge bros decimating the government, has provided an enormous smokescreen that Blacks for Trump can take cover behind for now. And even when Trump and his cronies eliminate the Department of Higher Education, special needs kids are going to take the brunt of that. Or at least they're going to be the face of it. Because the media will do what they always do, make black children fade into the background. So if anyone in this country should lie low and hope people forget his role in helping elect Trump, it's Melike Abdul. But he didn't. He went on CNN, and for a guy who once boasted on CNN that he wasn't backing Trump for personal gain, he's certainly showing up on the media more and more. It's almost like he's improving his professional life by promoting Trump. Good thing he's not gaining personally from it, though. Abdul went on the show again with all his black conservative credentials and embarrassed himself by not only repeating Putin talking points, but by defending Hegseth's blunder and the obvious plan that Trump is going to propose. You know, the one about selling out Ukraine. Like the unqualified and incompetent person that he is, Hegseth went to a defense summit in Europe and blew the U.S. position right out of the water. He played right into Russia's hand so egregiously that even Republican Senator Roger Wicker criticized Hegseth's incompetence.
Look, everybody knows, and you know, and people in the administration know, you don't say before your first meeting what you will agree to and what you won't agree to.
Yeah, I was puzzled by that too.
Yeah, well, I was puzzled too, and I was disturbed. I was disturbed by it.
He's not only disturbed, but he called it a rookie mistake. And I'm going to just throw this out there so that you guys can pounce on it. Is Hegseth ready for this? Because he's calling it a rookie mistake.
I mean, I don't know. No. There's so many good people they could have had running the Defense Department. This guy is not qualified in any way.
Even with that criticism, Abdul went on to defend Hegseth and Trump.
So to you, Melike, when you hear these words parroted, exactly the same words that were used by Putin and in Russia, is this a betrayal straight out of Ukraine?
Some people will look at it that way, but I think when you consider what we're now in 3 years into this war, there was the World Economic Forum, there was another event, I think somewhere in Switzerland, where Ukraine, they've hosted these peace summits. In each of these, Russia was not present.
Yes, Malik, that's because the world was attempting to isolate Putin as a means to weaken him, and it's a strategy that worked. Russia's economy is tanked, and Putin had to call in North Korea to send him troops.
So I think it's a very good thing that Donald Trump is at least talking to Putin because the world has pretty much shut him out. You can't have a peace summit without inviting the other party there.
Yes, once the other party is weakened economically and politically, you can invite him. Trump, however, just saved the Russian economy, which was on the verge of collapse. Whoops, Malik, you forgot to mention that. He went on.
So I think it's absolutely significant. But if you listen to Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of Defense said that this issue of this
Okay, you just have to stop there. Notice how the other panelist, as he cup, cannot hold back the laughter at referring to Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. It is laughable. But then Abdul went on to repeat a Russian talking point.
Our Secretary of Defense said that this issue of this possibility of Ukraine getting NATO membership, it is a no.
Not only is this a Russian talking point, but it's a classic blame the victim. It's simply Russia's justification for war, and Abdul repeated it like it was a legitimate excuse for the war and the violence visited upon Ukraine. But then he went on and stepped on a landmine.
And if you consider what our military has said, even last year, you have military analysts saying that Ukraine, this is aside from the 2014 borders, that Ukraine was unlikely to get any of the territory that Russia has gotten so far. I think that it is now time to have a serious conversation about our investment in Ukraine.
So back that up. Because Ukraine did not reclaim all the invaded territory, the investment was not successful? Dude, Ukraine was supposed to fold in 3 weeks. It's now been 3 years, and Ukraine and Ukrainian democracy are still alive, while Russia is severely weakened. That's what you call success. Yeah, and just ask Poland. Melike Abdul's defense of Hegseth and Trump was so ridiculous that he got schooled by wannabe biker chick Kara Swisher.
Donald Trump is doing the right thing with forcing these sides to actually talk because Europe was not interested in doing that.
Except he's giving away the store before it happens. I mean, why would you say we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that? And then the whole thing about territory. I mean, you know, someone pointed this out in Britain. What part of the United States would you give away if Canada invaded? Would it be Maine or Michigan? I don't know. And if they were in it.
Abdul demonstrated how completely absurd it is to defend Trumpian foreign policy, in addition to anything Trump does. It must have been a relief for him not to be talking about social issues, because the economic disparities and institutionalized racism in this country continue to marginalize large numbers of black people and make them vulnerable. That's a topic he doesn't want to go anywhere near. But justifying two bumbling incompetents stepping into a war zone with no plan and no strategy is also not a good look. I mean, really, Abdul, what's the playbook here? Black people are supposed to get behind Putin? Not a good look, dude. Not a good look. In fact, sounds like something Kanye would say. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.